Morning, everyone. Welcome to Timeout Tuesday with Elizabeth Yeager from Sydney, Australia. And this morning, we are actually experiencing slightly cooler weather than we've had. October has been an extremely hot month, and it has been around in the 30s most days. But today, it's just at the moment, I think, reached 13. So it's a lot cooler today. But anyway, you remember last week I did the Christmas tags and more paper and the die cuts. And if you remember, these were the cards that I made last week, just to show you. Okay, so today I'm sort of going with a similar theme, but I'm using the Jolly Holly embossing folder. Don't try to say that too quickly. The Jolly Holly embossing folder. Now, if you look at it, you probably can't see this on, oh yeah, there you go. You can see that there are holly leaves that become embossed. And there's also, it's a hybrid folder. So what you can do is you can put this in on here, put your paper in and actually partially cut the holly leaves as well. And I've done something with that as well, so I'm going to show you later on. There are 8 dies in this, some holly leaves, some square rectangles, poinsettia, some leaves, and the word joy. So you can die cut that out. So that's what I'm using today. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side for the moment. I'm also going to be using the traditional wreath embossing folder. I love embossing folders. I think they add an extra dimension to your card. So let's get started. Okay. So last weekend I was at a retreat, which was absolutely wonderful. And I was trying to plan this on Sunday morning. So here's our embossing folder. I had about 10 or 12 of these done already. You can see how pretty it is. It's all raised, so you can feel it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to leave that out at the moment. I'm going to place that on the card. So let me get my tape. These are very simple cards. I had this because I was using them in a class and I had some left over. And I thought, oh, what can I do with them? Okay, now these are the die cuts. Some of them are from, Jolly Delivery. And I thought that I would put these on here. And I think I'm going to do it this way. Not sure yet. I had it the other way, but I think I want him to come towards the house with the letter. I'm going to do it like that, I think. Yeah. Okay. So all I'm going to do is get my dimensionals and pop the bear on first. Very, very quick. He's a cute bear. He's carrying a letter. Okay, so let's take the dimensionals off and I'll put the bits in my little basket. I made these for the weekend for our Stampin' Fairy gifts to put our rubbish in, which is quite funny because I wasn't going to give them out to Saturday. And on Friday night, someone says, oh, I forgot my bin. And I said, never fear. There we go. So he's on. Now to put the house on. There are some very, very cute houses in this. You can make a lovely village if you wanted to. Come on, off you come. One there, and I'll put one in the middle. Okay. And I wanted one that I could actually had room to drop the things in. So this was perfect for a gift. And I had all this fabric that I was able to use as well. So I'm going to put that there. And then I just cut a little tag out, and I used one of the Greetings and More ephemera for the top. So all I'm going to do is put some, this is a dimensional card, methinks, and I'll do the same with this. Although I could peel the back off and just stick it on, I think I'm going to raise it up. Reminds me of that song, You Raise Me Up, that Josh Groban sings. One of my favourites, that one. And I've done it in cherry cobbler. And here we go, a little ephemera gift tag. It says, from our house to yours. Putting that in the middle. And I've got some, I think I might use some red ones on this. Got some red traditional sparkling sequins. I've been using these a lot. And I think I might just put a couple on, or maybe one on this. It's in there. Yeah, I just put the one on. I could put a couple of gold ones on too, or green ones on. Let's put a couple of small green ones up here. One there. And they're jumping all over the place this morning. Not sure where that one went. Okay. Pop it up there. And I've got some red and green ones on it. It's my first card. Now for inside, I've just got a piece of cardstock. I cut lots and lots of cardstock. The right size to go in, and all I have to do then is to find the color I want, which is garden green, and I'm going to use, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I'm going to put that on like that. Put that back, turn this over, get my tape. And pop it on the inside. So the color matches the base of the card, which is garden green. And that's my first card. Okay, my second card today has also got the bear on it. Is that the one? Let's have a look. Might leave that one for the moment. Let's do this one. This one's using some of the paper, and it's using an embossing folder in a slightly different way. So let's get it out. It's in Poppy Parade this time. Okay, so I've got my Poppy Parade base. Okay, and I don't think I've got one already done. So inside, I'm going to put, what's this one say? May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. Yeah, I might use that one. Poppy Parade. Let's do that first. And when I've done this, I might clean my stamps off because I don't really want to. There we go. To get the same ink on a different one that I don't want. There we go. That is going to go on the inside. Let's close the Poppy Parade because I am prone to put my fingers in it. And my hand, hold my card. Felt sorry for someone in the weekend when we were away. They dropped their card in their ink and they were so frustrated. And it happens. Happened to me. So that's the inside. I've got a piece of the 6x6, which I've cut. I'm going to use this side because it tones in really well. I love the other side too, which I used last week, but I'm going to use this side. And I'm going to put that on like that. And then I've got another piece of Poppy Parade, and I've cut the holly a little smaller, the holly embossing folder, and I'm going to place that on top of the Poppy Parade. It's going to go in the center of my card, and I'm just going to glue it straight down on the card because I'm going to use embossing folder for the other bits. There we go. Now I've got a little car here. I'm just working out where I want to put it. I think I'll put that there. No, I might put it on the other side. I've got a dove, and I might put the car here. I'm going to put Joy in the middle. Okay, this is out of Peaceful Garden, this little dove, and I love it. I had these left over, and I was hunting through my little box of bits and pieces, and I found this one, and I thought, oh, this is perfect for this card. Put it on first. Now, you'll notice that it does not have this bird. My daughter said to me the other day, she said, Mom, I wish they had an eye. But if you're careful, my pen's not working very well, you can put an eye on it. Okay, it's got an eye now. Joy, I think I'm going to raise up to. Let's get this on. Put one there. I put one. When you put these on, just make sure that they go in this so that the edges don't stick out. So you can do that if you're careful. Crooked. There we go. Then you can't see it on the other side. And I might put one more up here. I think that'll be enough. Let's check and see. One. My finger doesn't want to work. Yes, we spent the weekend at Kaya Ridge, which is down near Camden on the outside of Sydney. It's about an hour and a half to get there. Joy, I can go there. And then I am going to put some on the little van, like a postie van. If you lived in the country, this is probably one of the ways your mail would get delivered to you in a van. So let's put our little van on. I know when I lived in the UK, this was the way we got our mail. Okay, and on this one, I'm going to use some green ones. One there, one there, and one there. Just to be different. Now I've got the inside done, so that's card number 2. Okay, card number 3 has, I quite like this card. So it's got cherry cobbler this time. And it's also a long shaped card, so I'm going to have to get my cherry cobbler. And I just tipped my bin upside down and knocked everything out of it, but that's okay. May the spirit of the season renew happiness and love. I think that would be a good one. And I'll grab cherry cobbler. Got them piled up here. I'm really hoping I'm organized today. And I'm going to put it here on the side. Wipe it off before I do anything else. Maybe using it again, but there we go. Pop that on the inside. I was thinking the other day, one of the things I need now that I've moved into the craft room to do this is a clock on the wall, because I forget to look at my watch. See how I'm going. Okay, So that's the whole embossing folder. And I've got a couple of little houses here. And I'm just working out what way I remember to put this. I think I did it like this. And I have two cats racing each other. They're pretending to be reindeer. So let's put that up there. Just work out where I'm going to put them. I know I had them like this on the bottom. Just a fun card. Okay, so let's turn these over and put them on. As I say, you know, you want some cards for quick occasion. Maybe you get a card that you weren't expecting to get from a neighbor or something. And it's also a great way to show that you can make your own cards. One there and one there. And I'll turn the cats over and I'll do them at the same time. One there, one back there. Just going to do all the dimensionals on them first. There, up there, there, and one there. We've had a fun morning fighting with the computer trying to buy tickets to our grandkids' concert. It wasn't playing fair this morning, so it was very frustrating. Let's put these in here. Move this over here so it won't fall down again. Knock it down. I'll put that right there. Do the other house. These are all just cutouts, and I didn't have to even cut them out. Just punch them out and put them in a box, and then rifle through when I want what I want. Put this one here, and take my orange cut. There we go. He's going to go up here. Looks pretty happy. Now the black and white spotted one. Whoops, which I'm dropping in the bin. You know, someone who's a cat person, they would probably appreciate this. There we go. And I've got my Happy Christmas for the top. Let's pop that on. Okay, and I actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one red one in there. Okay, so card number 3. Okay, now let's just change what we're going to do next. Let's look at this one. This is using the embossing, the wreath, and probably parade. And what I've done is I've cut the piece of the embossing folder after I've done it into 4 pieces. So I'm going to be using these at different times. So you can see cut down there and across there. And then I've got some purple parade, and that's going to go on. So let's do that first. And then I've got the wreath underneath it. So I'm going to put that on. Do the front of this card first. I'll use this side. Okay, now I'm going to raise this one up, I think. Let me get my little tags, or those. Actually put 5 on. One in the middle and one in the other corner. So I've got 5 on. Take the backs off. this is actually a very simple card, okay? Just red and white. Now I've got my joy, which I'm going to put on here. Oh, before I put that on, it's something I want to do. I can just take it off for a second. That's okay. It doesn't matter that that's there. I want to put a bit of tape on behind where the card would be. And then I'm going to get some gold ribbon. I don't know if this is current still, but what I want to do is just, if I can get it to stick, one there, sticking there, and it's going to grind like in a loop. And you can see I'm just trying to, I might end up cutting those two off. I'll see how I go. Okay, now let's put this on. I'm going to just put another dimension inside where that one was, in case it doesn't stick, and put this on. Then I will pull this up a little bit so you can see that I might put that here. Now you see, that's fine now that I've got the, and take a dimension off that one. There we go. I've got my joy, and actually what I think I might do is just glue this on. So I've got some glue here. I'm just going to run a little bit. You could even put adhesive tape that we have on the back, just so it's sticky on the back. Just going to put that on like that. I'm going to add a couple of gold little gems to these, sort of 3 gold ones actually. So I'll put one there. I'm going to put a large one here, and next to a large one here. Okay, now very, very simple, except that is straight. And you could, if you wanted to, use some wink of Stella on that. Now for the inside, I think I have one that's going across. Let's do, it's the most wonderful time of year. It is a very joyful time of year. I love Christmas because just the spirit around Christmas is usually lovely, and people are nice to each other. And I appreciate that because I think there's enough sadness in this world without us adding to it. And I hate it when people get grumpy with each other. And they're not, I don't know about you, but just a little bit of kindness to each other, I think, in this world is not a bad thing. So pop that on the inside. And actually, you know what I might add to it? I might add wherever I put my jewels, just set them somewhere. I can't see them now. Could put, oh, it's right in front of my nose. There you go. There. And that's card number 4. Okay, so that's a slightly different way to use the embossing folder. I'll show you this one next. This is also using another little bit of the embossing folder, but I've used gold this time behind it. I've got a piece of white, which I've used a blending brush and some Poppy Parade really lightly on. And I've got my insert. It's the most wonderful time of year. Let's pop that on, and then I'm finished with the inside. what I'm going to do is put this piece on. Actually, yeah, I think that's the way I wanted that. Across the way. I could do it up and down this one, actually. But now that I've got it across the way, they'll all be like that direction this time. I'm going to put this on top with dimensionals. 2, 3, 4. It's card number 5, and if I have time, I'll show you card number 6. I might show it to you. I don't have time to make it. We'll see what we can do. Okay, that's going to go there. So you've got this just peeping out from behind it. Okay, I'm just going to again put some tape on the middle of this. And rather than make a bow, I'm just going to put this. Maybe I didn't put too much on. I could use glue dots in this too. Okay, and my joy, I think I'll put on with a couple of, I might just put it on with glue. Let's put that on like that. Joy. And I meant to put that underneath the actually I'm not, can I change that quickly? I meant to put that straight on the card, this, and then just put the joy on. Let's do that again. That was what I was going to do. But this is what happens when you're working a little bit ahead of time. Stick there. Doesn't matter, whatever way it falls, basically. And you can see that it's sort of falling like that. And then I'm going to put this back on. Like so. And then I'm going to stick my joy on. I would have normally done. And I have my little cleaner somewhere. Because I've got a little bit extra glue there. And, oh, I've got 2 joys there. There you go. Didn't realize that. This takes any excess glue off. Yeah. There we go. I might put another dimensional on the back of that. This is a very, very simple card, sort of just, and then I've got my little holly leaf, and I'll show you how I did that in a minute. And I'm going to stick that with 2 dimensionals on it. There we go. On the top there. That's just another simple one. There you go. I didn't realize I had another joy. There you go. Now the last card I'm going to show you is this one. This was inspired by one by Vicky Butcher, who's an Australian demo. I changed it a little bit from my original that I did because I quite liked. I thought it was a little bit too fussy before. So what I've done is I've got a garnet green, got joy in foil. I've taken the embossing folder and I've used the hybrid in it, the cutting in it, and then I've just cut all these holly leaves out and used my blending brush and some Wink of Stella on them. And then these are gems that we had last year. They're like little clusters of berries and things, and I've put them on the bottom. And you might wonder how I did this. I don't know if I've got time. because I've already done it. But basically, I can show you very quickly what I did. Was I got a piece of cardstock, whoops, like this, and I laid it carefully on I made it 11, I believe. This one's 10. And then I got some of our masking tape and I put these a centimeter apart. So I ended up getting this effect when I use my blending brush. Okay, so that's how I did that, in case you wonder. Okay, so let's get the card together now. I have the stuff here somewhere. Here's my it's bit, and this is going to go up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear it like so. I've got my blending brush and my soft sea foam, because I wanted a very soft feel to this. So I'm just getting that and rub that off. I want it a bit more. Just like that. And that will be enough. Okay. So I've got this bit. Let's take that away. That is going to go on up here. So let's do that. So using one of the backs, the embossing folders that I hadn't used. It's going to go there. And then this was, where is it? This was the bit I had on the top of the other card. Get off this. I had it up here and I thought it was just too fussy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down here. Like so. And I believe somewhere in the mess that I have on my table with all these other things, I should have a joy. I'm not sure where it is, but anyway, I'll show you, and I should have a soft seafoam card base. But if I had, I could even put it, oh no, I can put it on this here. See? Like that. And I'm just going to do the bare bones of this because time is running out. So, and I will probably die cut a joy, or I could even use, I've got this one that I haven't made today, could even use that joy there on it, which is quite nice, but I've got silver, so I want to use a silver joy, so I'll probably die cut one. This was another one I was going to do just to show you quickly. I'm not going to make it up. It's on white base. There's my base. I've got this DSP from Elegant Christmas. I've got that would go on top. Got my joy, and I have decorated a couple of little bells, and that would be that cut. See how quick that went together? So that would be how that one goes, and that would be another card that I could do. So just to show you, I haven't got. I could put a red joy on that, couldn't I? Just like that. That would work. It doesn't need to be silver because I've got the red berries. So let me quickly do that. Just like to finish it, and then I'm just about done. I'm using my little cheap joy. And I've got some little silver gems that I can use, or gold gems that I can use on this one. See? They're from something, I think it was a kit or something that I had. So that would go like that. Okay, and that's this one. I really like this card. Vicky's was different and had different colors, but I like it. It's just a little bit different. And I have made the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. And we'll put that on the inside. And I've used Mossy Meadow to stamp the inside. So there we go. So this one isn't made up, but you can see how it goes. This one, a few joys today. Another joy. Happy Christmas, joy from our house to yours. So I don't know what's your favorite, but that's just a very, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in half an hour. That's pretty quick. So I know I prepared some of this stuff before, but yeah, I just really like the simplicity of those and the little message inside. So there you go. Okay, right. So that is my cards for today, and that's the one that I'd previously done. And you can see I used some silver behind that, so I could have done that on that one as well. But I'm happy with that. Just a little bit different to the other one. Okay, well, next week we're into November, and I am actually going to be, I know what I'm doing next week. I'm going to be making Christmas tags. So I'm going to cut out lots of tags and put them together next week and show you a little box that I'm going to make for them, that I was inspired by someone on YouTube to make. So I will use those for next time. So anyway, take care and stay safe, especially over the Halloween weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.